Welcome everybody tonight. Very excited to present this project to our community. We have Warmus on the call, Brandon, Vera, and also Mark with the team here of SCARD. And that would be Stardust, an Ethereum token that is launched, really helping people around nonprofit, spreading awareness about mental health, which really touches home with me and I know some folks here in the community as well. But to get us started off, I really want to, bring to light the team here. I would like to, introduce you guys, Warmus, Brandon, Mark. If you could get us started, it would be very helpful to learn a little bit more about you guys. Like what have you done in the past? What is your backgrounds? And then how did that kind of lead up, right, to the development of this token in particular and the whole mission? And then from there, we'll move into the presentation of the project. But I'm just curious to learn a little bit more about the team before we get started.
Yeah, so my name is Warmus. Real name is Warren Musser. I got into crypto last year, was last year when Corona happened, or was it the year before? I don't remember, honestly.
It's all a blur, but I want to say it was like the year before it started coming out, and then last year was like mainstream, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So last year, it was when the coronavirus came. It was one of those things that I also own a marketing company, so I allowed everyone to work from home because it was a mandatory no working. It was only essential workers. So to pass the time, sitting in the house, it was Robinhood or Netflix, and I chose Robinhood. So I started there, and then like within like a week or two, I immediately moved on to altcoins and DeFi, because it was just I loved the space so much more than the blue chips. I mean, I love the blue chips, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit more faster paced. So I was in it, and then I started another token after getting rug pulled multiple times. I mean, it was just like one after the other. And this other token that I started, and it's still going right now, that's not going to get rugged either. That one, and I'm not going to say the name, if you don't mind. That one, I was in that, and I was the one that started the team. I was the one that came up with the concept of everything. I was the one was pulling everyone in. I made the website, and I was the one doing the marketing. And within a couple of days, we hit a 56 million market cap. Everything was great. And then a couple of days later, it's like, when marketing from my team, and I'm like, everything we're doing is marketing. And they're like, well, we're not seeing it. And I go, you didn't see the 56 or 58 million dollars the other day? I mean, that's from marketing. But anyways, so there was a lot of headbutting and stuff like that. And long story short, I left the team, and and then I took some time to kind of clear my head for about 4 or 5 days, and then after that, I was ready to jump back into the game. So this is where Stardust was conceived, because I was diagnosed with bipolarism in February of last year, sorry, 2021. And because I started noticing some different shifts in my mood. I would go from, like being like, 150 miles an hour to, 80 miles an hour. Anything under 99 miles an hour was just too slow for me. So I went to my psychiatrist, and I just opened up about everything. And she goes, yeah, you sound like you have bipolar. And I go, no, bipolar is manic and depressive. And I am not depressive. I'm, I have a lot of energy. And she goes, well, good news is that, you're in that small population that is only manic. So that's great for me. And what bipolarism means to me is it just means that I'm really good at starting businesses, because this is my third business. My first one is a marketing company. We went from our first check in February of 2018 of $2,000 to now generating between $500,000 and $750,000 per month. And we went from just me and my business partner to me and a team of 10. So that's my story, and I will let Brandon come in.
Hey
Thank you,
guys,
Warren.
thanks Warren. So my name is Brandon Vera. I am a professional athlete / entertainer. My moniker, I guess, is the truth. I've been competing since 2005 was my first professional contract. And I've been trying to get into crypto since XRP had a bunch of zeros in front of it. You know, there's a learning curve, and it's hard to ask for help in this crypto world. It's weird. You know, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know who's telling you or selling you. So I missed out on XRP with all the zeros in front of it. And by the time I heard about crypto or was interested in looking at it again, it was SafeMoon. I opened up a wallet. I finally learned how to open up a wallet. I didn't know what the hell to do with my seed phrase. And then instead of me actually buying SafeMoon, I just gave my uncle money and he deposited SafeMoon into my account for me. That was my first crypto transaction. As weird as it was, I fell in love with it, and I kind of dove head over heels into it. You know, it's the closest thing I can get to watching videos of my opponent. It's super technical, and it's something that only most nerds would do. So I absolutely love it. You know, being around this space since then, I've gotten into a bunch of different projects as an investor. I've been rugged 5 times, which I heard is not a big number at all, but it makes you weary about the space. And Warren and I were just introduced through the space by a mutual friend, Psycho Philly. And we just started talking about things. He talked about this token he had coming out. He asked if I wanted to be a moderator, because man, I'm on all the Telegram boards. Even if I'm just a creeper reading, I'm usually on the boards. And I said, man, I get paid to be a hall monitor out here, and I'm just doing this in between training sessions. Yeah, that's cool. I can do this, man. This will be really cool. Fast forward a little bit more, we deep dive a little bit more into what he's trying to do, and the name of the foundation is SCARD, and that rang tried and true with me, man. My job, my line of work is a little bit different than most, and I grew up a little bit different than most. I say it all the time, and I tell people, everyone's scar is different. Some you can see, and some you can't. Some people hide their scars very well, and I think everyone can appreciate the need or the ability to want to be able to talk to somebody, to be able to speak to somebody. Fast forward a little bit more, me and Warren are having this conversation about the foundation, the SCARD Foundation. I'm falling in love with it. I find out that Grant is going to be our chairman, our president of the SCARD Foundation, which is in itself a crazy, amazing thing. Grant is Warren's brother, who's chief of fire rescue.
He's the captain for the City of Miami Fire Rescue, and he's also the head. I don't remember what the vernacular is, but like the captain of the USAR team, Task Force 2, which is the second. There's 2 task force in the United States, Task Force 1 and Task Force 2. My brother has the highest position on Task Force 2. They're the ones that were at the Chaplain Tower collapse in South Beach. They went to, they fly to Haiti. They fly to Louisiana. Any sort of natural disaster, he's out. I didn't want to interrupt you, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, thank you for clearing that. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah. But, it's an amazing thing that just happened to be coming together piece by piece. And, Tyler, I met you through the space as well. And I met the DeFi Angels through the space, and you guys are a godsend. But, man, crypto's a weird space, and I'm happy to be finding good people around and keeping good people close to me. This group showed me that it's not just about the money. They want to make a difference in the world. To me, the cryptocurrency is just secondary. And the biggest thing that sets us apart is that SCARD Foundation is actually setting up its own nonprofit. It's 501 C3 501c3, so that the money directly, the sweat equity we put in directly, goes to the people who need it, not to a foundation or organization where they're probably giving them 3 cents on the dollar that you're sending in. The difference in this part of being with SCARD Foundation is when I show up on scene, I'm going to be asking people from the community, from our community, from the local community, and on social media to show up and help, man. If somebody needs help and we're out there, man, show up and show out so that we can all help each other together. That's where I'm at on this project. I'm a true believer in the goals of this project. The play to earn game, the anime series. Right before this call, we were on a call before, and we just confirmed an appointment for an artist that has been a longtime friend of mine. That I hope we get to close this deal with him. But man, with the connections that I've had throughout my life and what I've been doing, I get to take a lot of shortcuts in life. I've been blessed, and I plan on being able to use those to help this foundation succeed and our PTE game come to life sooner than later. Oh man, I cannot wait to be playing too, man. I was one of those kids with a quarter on the thing, so I can't wait to make all this happen.
Hey, Brandon, that's probably the only time I will ever be able to kick your ass.
I'll take it. You better line it up.
Bring it.
Really, really, really cool, and I'm starting to see how this came to fruition. And to the fighting point, I think me and Brandon had a fight scheduled not too long ago that we're overdue for, but we don't have to go
man.
for another day.
You know what? We blame it on the weather. The weather took it. It was the weather.
Yeah. You have a headache, don't you?
But so the gaming part is actually really interesting. We aligned with another partnership over at Hay Fever, and they're focusing on really that area, and so that could be a great introduction that I wouldn't mind passing off out of good faith with the Angels, and offering some of our connections to leverage as well. But onwards and forwards, I want to know about the project. I've been in it. I am an investor since day one. And just to highlight it to everybody here, on the call currently with us, but more importantly to everybody down the road that will be listening into this, give me a high level, presentation over project and what it does and how it works, and how that ties in with the mental health awareness. If you could, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be Mark. So I'm going to allow Mark to speak.
Sure. Taylor and Kay, I appreciate you guys hosting us. From a very high level standpoint, the vision or end game is to fuse DeFi with GameFi or play to earn gaming. And then the cherry on top would be an animated comic series. And if you just separate those markets completely, crypto or DeFi, we've seen the total market value from 2019 go from sub 200 billion to, at the end of 2021, it was valued at 2.3 trillion. So like exponential growth that all of us early adopters can attest to. Just I think the monetary value of getting in early, and then gaming is a massive addressable market of like close to or above 3 billion people. And the fusion of like gaming and DeFi, we've just seen it. Like Axie was kind of Axie Infinity, that is kind of a middle of the road, like gaming company, kind of stuck in the 90s for lack of a better term. But they took a flyer and they decided to integrate NFTs and play to earn in their gaming, and it has exploded. Just in their token value alone, like forget the utility, but it's one of the best performing tokens, along with Gala Games, who I think came in maybe second for the best performing token in the year. And the founder of Gala Games also started Zynga Games in the Bay Area back in like the early 2000s, which had a ton of success. And so just that sector alone, I'm crazy bullish on. I think there's going to be a lot of entrance into the space, but competition is good. And then lastly, I would just tie in like animation. I did music licensing for Sony for a number of years, and like in my 20s, and I love entertainment. And I also think or know that animation is a massive segment that's growing. Like if you just look historically um, at Netflix, some of the most viewed shows are animation. So like the fusion of all of those is the vision that we're going after. It just has to be pieced together, just from a project management standpoint, because the same studio can't do all three of those things. So we have to work in tandem with an animation and graphics studio, and then kind of like merge or talk to the play to earn gaming production. So there's a lot on our table, but we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Mark. And then the part about the foundation. So the foundation is my brother spent about 2.5 to 3 weeks. He's a full-time firefighter as well. But he's, 24 on, 48 off sometimes. So he spent the last 2.5 to 3 weeks, and last Tuesday, he actually was able to submit the 501c3 paperwork to the federal government. And that was like 45 pages, an application that's 45 pages long, followed by a 47-page typed up bylaws, activities, meetings, goals, all that stuff. And it took them a long time, and it was just all handwritten. And that's why a lot of people don't start foundations or nonprofits, especially tax exempt. But yeah, so, and then 2 days ago, we launched our merch store, because who doesn't like merch? And that 100% of the proceeds go directly to the foundation. So I want to let everyone know that our merch store is open. So have at it.
Really cool. Okay. So yeah, I'm just reading through the roadmap right now, and you guys have really, completed a lot. It looks like you're in that releasing entertainment phase of 4 right there, and moving in with that animated and the P2E, which is really exciting stuff. So tell me a little more about the tokenomics, right? It's listed as payroll on the website. You have 1% reflections back to all your investors. You're working on a multi-sig wallet, which is obviously, as an investor, we love to see that. 6% to the dev, 4% to marketing, 1% to charity, and 0 team tokens. So I guess my first question around just the payroll part is, on this multi-sig, A, who is on it? And I guess B to that, how are you allocating the dev money, the 6% out? Is that being paid like a salary to the team members, or is that actually going, into maybe buybacks or different various ways to increase the project? Or is it going maybe to, over to the foundation where, the donating part is happening to, maybe charities of such, if you can speak on that.
Yeah. So not only do we have 3 multi-sigs, but we also locked liquidity for 101 years. And there is no team tokens. Every token that we own, we bought in. I bought in at launch. I was in the room with my brother, Baptiste, and Brandon was on a call with my brother, and I dropped the contract, and no one in the room even knew the contract was dropped. That's how fair of a launch it was. And Brandon wasn't even able to buy in on that day, and I don't think Matt was either.
No, I was not able to buy in on that day.
Yeah. So the reason the charity's 1% is because right now we're building the foundation. Once the foundation gets up and running, we're going to increase it, and that's going to come from the dev wallet. The entire dev wallet is not for the dev team. We have 8 members on our team, and we've put in, I want to say, a few $100,000 into this already of our personal, money. I know I've put in, tens of thousands. So that is why we're starting with 6%. It's 4% spread across 8 members. And then the 2% is for development. But we used 85,000 for a one-time buyback. Before we locked liquidity, when we were holding 40% of total supply for other exchanges. And when we were speaking with L Bank, before I sent them those tokens, because I had them in the wallet, I talked to, we had a team discussion about that, because there was a few top holders and a few whales that didn't like the fact that a number one wallet was 40%, even though it was in the multi-sig. So we just decided to burn it. So we burned $1.3 million worth of SCARD tokens, and then we used $85,000 for a buyback and used those tokens and sent them to L Bank. And then those are the ones we're holding in the dev multi-sig wallet. So that's the tokenomics, and hopefully that was clear.
Yeah, no, it was solid too on the way that you moved with that, especially with L Bank. I guess that leads me to my next question. What other exchanges right now currently are like on the radar, maybe in the pipeline, that you guys are working with, looking at, or kind of allocating some time to get on?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of exchanges out there, and let me tell you, my DMs are full. But there's a few that I have my eyes on. We did apply to SataMask. We applied the day after we launched. I haven't heard back, but I have a few people, including Barbara, who's reaching out to the guys to see what we can do to get us on like quicker. Because I mean, we have, and I also want to let you guys know that our token is under the War Must LLC, registered in the state of Florida. Now, I'm not sure how much of your audience lives in the United States, but if they do, I mean, you don't F with the federal government. They will shut your ass down and they will lock you up. And I'm not trying to go to jail for no wire fraud or embezzling or any of that stuff. So everything is under the LLC. So that adds a level of security, because that LLC is suable. So if something were to happen, you guys can sue the LLC. I'm not telling you to, because that would suck. But right now we're working on a lot of things, and there's a lot of moving parts. So for the exchanges, we're holding off on spending any more money on exchanges. So SataMask, if they call us and they let us in, we'll jump on that, because that's going to be a big one once they get it working.
Copy that, Roger. Yeah, it makes sense. Completely. So yeah, I mean, I would say too, moving forward with that, just having everything in place. And that's kind of what I was getting at with those exchanges. Once you start working with those and you can get in tune with something like this, and it addresses the mental health part, I really see it stemming out of. I know that there's been other tokens that maybe focus on other charities and things to go after, and they really seem to get listed on these exchanges. So I wouldn't mind connecting offline and making a couple introductions as well, just with some of the resources we have there. I think it can certainly help out. But that's great. So I mean, it sounds like in terms of the team, you guys are very vested in the project, which is something that aside from us just finding deals and investing into them, we at the Angels, we really like investing in teams. So it sounds like to me, the way that you guys, are going to make your money at the end of the day, off this project would be by an investor in this project for the long run, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm investing in this for the long term. My
Yeah.
wallet, ormus.eth, look it up on Etherscan, and I'm holding.
Got it. Yeah.
Now, if you see my tokens going down a little bit, it's because I sent tokens to, people that do us. Like I sent $5 billion to someone today. But that isn't going to be sold at all. That's a diamond hander.
Yeah, and then in terms of the LLC, I think that's also a great move putting it under that. Obviously, we're an LLC as well, based out of Wyoming, just because crypto friendly laws and everything. But yeah, having that in a sense of security for investors, seeing that part buttoned up, I think is prudent to a lot of these companies' success projects in the early stages. As the industry starts to develop, regulations always loom. You want to have that foundation and those entities in place. So the fact that you've already done that, I think it puts you, a couple steps ahead, and then being heavily vested is something I like to hear. I do have some more questions, but I do want to open it up. I always do this, Warren. I start asking away and I just keep going. So before I do that and just
That's all right though.
yeah, I tend to just keep going, but I would like to open it up a little bit for my team, my core team, my deal flow committee. If you're here and you have a question, please feel free to chime in.
Hey guys, it's Michael. How's it going?
Fantastic.
Good. How's it, Michael?
Living the dream, man. Just staying busy. I wanted to circle back about the P2E game. I'm curious about how many people are working on it, what style of game it is, and what the ETA is for the launch on it.
Well, I'm not sure if Mark is still here. He might have dropped off. He gets calls from his cannabis business all the time. So I wasn't on the call with Brandon and Mark and the guy that he connected with. So I'm going to let Brandon give a little bit of information on that, and then I will jump in about the ETA and all that stuff.
So, sorry guys. My son's being rambunctious. We have a meeting scheduled tomorrow with an amazing artist. He is a longtime friend of mine. He's worked for DC and Marvel. He's worked on some movies, some animated movies. So I can't talk about too much yet. Obviously, the contract's not signed, but we're off to a very good start into our venture into the P2E anime and NFT artistry area. I wish I could say Mormon, but I don't know what I can say. Mark's the one that's
Is there
answering these questions.
Is there interactivity between the NFTs and the P2E game?
Interactivity.
Can I answer that? When we met, if you look at the whole system of the whole foundation of the whole project, we met and we wanted to do something different. Like if anybody's an investor in crypto, you'll notice that crypto has a trend that it follows. Like at first we had the e-news and animes, now I jump into the good morning and everything else. And during that time we were like, you know what? If we're going to start a project, and if you guys I don't know if any one of you guys have invested into Luffy, a bunch of animated related token. Like let me see. Luffy was one of them. Saitama is based off of the One Piece character. So we were like, look, if we're going to do something different, we gotta have our own animated series, and that's gonna be original, so we don't face any copyright issues. But the way that Saitama did it, which was kind of nice, they said that it's not named after the One Piece man protagonist; it's named after like a city. So but anybody knows, when they first started, it was after that. Like if you can actually look at the logo, it's basically Saitama, the hero. So what we wanted to do, we were like, you know what? If we go into the space, we will be multi-layered, meaning that we have everything connected in series. Meaning the token is card dust, and we'll have an NFT game that's connected as well. And the animated series will be the first one to go, because like everything will be based off of it. Like the game will be based off of the animated series as well as that NFT. So we have a total of like 7 layers, and they all interconnected. So you can actually look at the light paper, and then on the website you'll find every information that you need. But like all this was taken in consideration because we didn't want to come out with an NFT that has no sentimental value. So we were like, you know what? We'll have everything. Like we have multiple layers, but they'd be like under one umbrella.
Gotcha. Okay. So with the NFT series, I would imagine that there's probably going to be some sort of educational piece. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Would the play to earn game as well is it being created to also provide education, whether that's mental health education or some sort of function that you can use the currency as a way to access maybe some mental health counselors or some sort of mental health experts?
Right now, like the way we're doing it, we because the foundation is different than it's not different. Like everything is under the same umbrella. I mean, and the foundation is part of it as well. But we want to create an NFT for that foundation itself. We want to the token, as far as the game, the animated series, will be under one umbrella, and because of the token itself is pretty huge. Meaning, like a lot of people like us because of the fact that we are spreading mental health awareness as far as giving back to the community. So the way we're looking at it, we want to create an NFT based on mental health. Well, that's too much. But I'm saying we want to have 2 different NFTs, one for the foundation and the other one that's tied into the animated series.
Okay, cool. And Warmus, this is going to be like my last 2 questions, and then I'll silence myself, and someone else can ask questions. One is, what's the ETA looking like for the game? And then 2, you were talking about the LLC and it's registered in Florida, and like technically the company could be sued. You guys are not providing yourselves as a proof of security, correct?
Nope. Go ahead, Warren. Speak on that because the way we set it up, we set up the parent company because we have a parent company. The one that Warmus is the parent company of everything, meaning that we can actually do multiple things. And the reason why we didn't make it like SCARD token LLC is the fact that if we're the same problem XRP was facing, like if you get into the whole securities now, you have to deal with the SEC. So all that was taken into consideration. So
Yeah, so what Baptiste said, my brother's actually here, his hands up, Grant Musser. He's got the blue SCARD image. So, but the ETA for the game is going to probably be around 6 months once the contract is signed. But we're still obviously shopping studios, and like Mark said earlier, that Mark and Brandon said a little while ago that they had a meeting today with a big person in the industry.
Tomorrow, sir. Tomorrow. It will be tomorrow.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and Brandon, why don't you tell them some of the accolades of this? Don't say who it is though.
Well, I've said it. He's drawn for DC, Marvel. He's animated for a couple of movies, some big blockbusters. Longtime friend, somebody that we talk dreams about together. So I'm looking forward and hoping that we get to close a deal with him. But other than that, I know Mark has other bids that he's looking at, and he's looking for a lot of stuff, man. I can't remember everything he says and he lists. And I am the worst one to ask about a lot of stuff because through everything I do, I sign NDAs everywhere. So I just make sure I don't talk about too much so I don't ever get in trouble. But that's all I can talk about for right now. Mark, where you at?
Yeah, I think Mark had to take a call or something like that. But so far, he's doing bids since he stay in California with like a couple of studios, and that's his department. He's the head of that, and I don't think he's here with us right now. He probably left for like a call. But so far, right now, he's getting letters and setting up deals with like Hollywood studios because Mark is a perfectionist. He didn't want to like come up with something that's gonna look like any. You know, sometimes you look at the games and then the project that's in crypto, and it's like a dev that's doing it that's not giving time or like any thoughts to it. Because Mark stays in Hollywood. He says he has connects and he's taking care of that. He already has a couple of letters and offers on the table.
Yeah. So, and I'm sorry that Mark had to get off this call on this AMA, but we just had an AMA with Crypto Dev, and he was on there, and he was saying that it's going to be around 6 months after the contract signed, because there's when you're signing a contract of this magnitude, there's a lot of check boxes that need to be hit and a lot of milestones that need to be reached. And the game is going to be more of like a simple, like a Street Fighter game or a Mortal Kombat game, like a move forward, back, punch, kick, jump, special move type of thing. And right now we're doing a character development, and that is taking a little bit more time than we thought because the animated series and the PDE game are going to be tied together. So it's not going to look good if we just threw some characters in, threw a name on them, and maybe like an outfit or whatever, and then just called it a game. That wouldn't be fair to our investors, and it wouldn't be fair to what we're capable of. So we're working as hard as we can to bring this all to fruition. And I mean, think about it. We launched 3 weeks ago, and how much and look at what we've accomplished. I mean, we burned liquidity, not burned it. We locked liquidity for 101 years. We have an LLC. The token's under an LLC. We have Brandon Vera. We're on L Bank, Uniswap, obviously as well. And we're making big moves. My brother submitted the paperwork for the 501c3. There's a lot of things that we have going on, so it's all good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hop back in real quick while we're on the topic of the 501, the C3. I want to learn more about how like you're selecting maybe some of these groups. I mean, because this is something I'm actually very passionate about. I can get personal as well in here. I don't mind. I've suffered from actually mental health for years. I've learned to deal with it, right, and to live with it, and kind of things that come with it from what I went through and childhood and PTSD and just things that I've struggled with. So that really hits home with me. And I'm just wondering how who's making the decisions, right? How do you find maybe these charities? And then also, is that money, would it be coming from actually the foundation, right? Since that's kind of separate, but under the same umbrella, obviously, as the token. But since you're separating those two, and in essence on this call, from what I've heard, is it coming from the token side, or will it be coming essentially from the foundation when you are I guess what would it be, donating money to some of these charities to spread that awareness? Just explain to me that process.
Yeah, great question. And I do want to let everyone know that my brother is here. So he's the person that is in charge of the foundation. Mark is in charge of the animation studios and the P2E game, and I'm basically in charge of the marketing of the token. So there is a lot of moving pieces. So I'm going to let my brother explain his part. Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Grant Musser. Just like you said, Taylor, the foundation for me is the most important aspect of everything that we're doing. That is my opinion. When my brother approached me about jumping on and helping out with this token and all the dreams and aspirations that we have of what can be done, we both unanimously agreed, along with the rest of the team, once we all formed together, that assisting mental health raising awareness for those mentally scarred by trauma. It could be anybody, children at home witnessing a traumatic event, to veterans coming home from war. So myself, my background, I'm a 22-year veteran with the City of Miami Fire Department. I'm a captain currently with them. I am a task force leader on Florida Task Force 2's Urban Search and Rescue Team. I've responded everywhere from Hurricane Michael all the way to the collapse that happened, the Champlain Towers. Seen my fair share of disasters, led our teams through it, made countless saves and recoveries and closure to families. But I kind of still feel that void. The traumatic experiences themselves have affected me personally. So this for me is my passion. I'm so happy that we were able to take 1% of all the taxes for the buys and sells of the SCARD token and set them aside in our charity wallet for SCARD, so that once I get the ruling back from the 501c3 application that we submitted to the IRS to become federally tax exempt, we can transfer those dollars over into the actual SCARD Foundation bank account. So in essence, SCARD is donating 1% of all the taxes to the SCARD Foundation, and will always be the lead donator and the principal token that the foundation was raised and born out of. Aside from the fact that my trials and tribulations and professional experiences within the city of Miami itself, we're all attending the North American Bitcoin conference. I'm sure you heard, to meet with the mayor in an unofficial capacity for me, because I'm a government employee. I work in administration for the fire department. Me coming and approaching the mayor in a business setting is unprofessional. So I like to be professional in everything we do. So we're going to approach him at this conference, since he is a pro Bitcoin mayor, and he's welcomed me home countless times from multiple disasters and deployments. Starting he's starting the Miami coin up and running, one of the few cities in the United States that's accepting Miami coin and starting that process. So Brandon Vera, also very passionate, came aboard, was gung-ho, bull right out of the gate, wanted to make a difference. And we have a board of directors. There's 4 of us. It's myself as president, Brandon Vera as vice president, Warren is the secretary, and Baptist is the treasurer. So there's 4 people on the board of directors right now. We will make the decisions of where to donate to and who we accept donations from as a board. We will always look for new people, collaborations. We can always bring new people on the boards if we have other tokens or big time cities that would like to affiliate with us and donate, right? So this is all new. These are all concepts that we've been working on together to determine how to move forward best with the foundation. But just like the token itself, the foundation will be managed with care and the utmost professionalism. So that's my 2 cents. Any questions on that?
To me, it's well said. It sounds like that, you have the decision makers in place to, figure out where to deploy those funds. You have a source to create those funds, right? Like, it's for people like me that actually believe, in that mission and want to spread that awareness. That to me is the story right there. That's the meat, right? And the play to earn game, all that stuff is kind of the icing on the cake where you start to scale, right? And
Right.
having that development time of the 6 months, it makes sense, creating the characters, getting everything done. I get it. So yeah, I mean, I think it was well said. And it's something I think aligns with us. For if you didn't know, like, we lobby on Capitol Hill, but aside from that, we also have donated to kids, kids maybe that are in unfortunate neighborhoods down in Florida. We've done that. We work on women empowerment, so we try to take all these different avenues as well. And I like that you've centered yourselves on the mental health aspect, because I think it does need to be addressed. And with COVID and everything else going on, I think what society will see, and the coming years will be more, mental health with, kind of some of the side effects from what our youth is experiencing today. So I think having things like this in place, working now ahead of that curve and being able to address it, or at least have the means to down the road, is prudent. Not only maybe for crypto, but for, us as a society, human race. I think that, it's very important. So I commend you guys there on that, and really setting that up. And I think that that's, really marketable too. I know Kay on our team had a question. I think it was towards you, Warren, about that, but I'll let her ask. But yeah, thanks for hopping on, Grant, and tackling
Thank
that
you.
for me.
I'm sorry I couldn't make it on late, but I had wifey duties to handle, and I was getting the stink eye, so I apologize for that.
We get it.
And I'm sorry if it was already addressed, but are you guys a 501c3 yourself?
No, actually, we're not. Yeah, we're an LLC, and we formulated out of Wyoming. So Ryan on our team here, who's on the call. We actually did a donation earlier in the year to some kids out in Florida, alongside of our lobbying efforts. But yeah, we just decided, it's the right thing to do. We found some underprivileged kids. They deserve it more than anybody. So if we can find those types of things, create kind of that social equity within, DeFi, and start paving that roadmap, right, and leading the charge, is something that really, hits home with me and our group. So it's something that we just go out and do on our own.
That's awesome. I commend you guys for that, man. I would love to pick your brains and collaborate with you guys in a non-professional setting such as this, to kind of spitball ideas, maybe help get us started, because I am new to this crypto world. My brother is the mastermind behind all of that, right? I got all I can offer is real world experience and leadership to that. So if we can get a call together and kind of unprofessional, maybe some drinks, and hang out and talk about things that we love to do and how to do it better, that would be amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, you did mention Miami, and you did say a conference. We will have a presence next week at the upcoming conference there. I believe it's the North American Bitcoin Conference. So
Yes,
we'll all
sir.
be in attendance. My team will be there. So we'll
There,
connect with us. Yeah, we'll
let's
be in town.
go.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll be there, and yeah, if you guys want to connect after the call, we can all sync up there. Maybe get a little group chat going, and totally, formally meet up, shake hands in person. I think that'll be good, and we can start clicking from there. But yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. That's great. I'm even more excited now. Thank you.
Right on, definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
Tyler. Cool, man. Brandon, me, my brother, Baptiste, and Jay, and also Moonwalk Coins and Longbeard is coming as well. So there's going to be a nice group of people.
Very
I'm
good. Yeah,
down, but Taylor, no fighting, okay?
I know.
No
Yeah,
fighting.
it is a professional outing, Brandon. Don't worry. You won't get these hands this weekend or next week, but down the road, I got you. They're coming. Just not.
Put them under lock and key.
I got it. All right. But no, yeah, my Miami will be good, and I look forward to really getting, in tune with you guys. But back to the questions. I know that my community is going to want to know some more. So I'm going to step back again. If I come in firing, you know why. But thanks for answering my question, Grant. I'm, again, looking forward to see you guys in Miami. But again, the floor is back open. So if my team wants to step in, any more questions, please ask.
Yeah, I did have a question, but first I did want to say that I really do respect and appreciate the initiative, when it comes to mental health. I think that's something that has not really been focused on in crypto. So I am hoping that this does set the trend. I'm starting to see that a little bit now in a couple of other tokens that I just coming out recently. So, I hope it does become something that's more popular, because I think it is necessary. Just, goes unattended to in crypto. But as far as Warmus, my question to you was, as far as marketing goes, what exactly is the budget that you have set? Some of the things that you're working on as far as targeting for more marketing.
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is we're trying to get our name out there with a lot of AMAs and Twitter Spaces. And we're going to start TikTok marketing as well, because TikTok is it's not untapped. It's less saturated than Twitter. You know, Twitter is full of you know, Degans and you know, low cap gems and all that stuff. So TikTok is our next is one of the avenues, but right now, tomorrow, once we are able to open the credit and debit card purchase on our website, because it's going to be so user friendly. I won't have to sit down and explain to someone how to buy our token. They'll just go to the website, connect their wallet. If they don't have it, they'll download it from the website. They will connect it to the website, and then they will put the amount in, put their credit card information in or their debit, and they will be able to buy SCARD directly. And then once that happens, that's when the Facebook campaigns and the TikTok marketing and all that other stuff, the stuff that we've been waiting on, because it's hard to advertise to the layperson, the person that's not in crypto, and explain to them what utility is. Why are they being taxed on a buy and a sell? You know, there's a lot of things that, you know, people have to wrap their head around. So we're trying to make it as user friendly as possible. And that is going to start hopefully tomorrow. I just spoke with the dev that's working on that. He's a CEO for a large crypto firm. They do Bitcoin gift cards, and they also do like daily, weekly, biweekly, monthly, yearly investments, where you stake and Bitcoin. That's their main focus right now, is Bitcoin. But anyways, he has this platform. They built this whole credit debits purchase on their website. They got all the legal documents, all the stuff that is needed to be approved. So he was able to migrate it over to our website, and we're using his production key. And the reason I say I'm hoping tomorrow is because tomorrow at 1 p.m., me and him, we have a call with the what are they called? The person that is, you know, like giving the money, or that they're buying from, the lender. There we go. So we have a call at 1 o'clock because we need to speak about the limits, and it was the limits and the KYC, because we don't want, you know, all that KYC for you know, our customers, because it's DeFi, you know. So we're gonna have a call with them tomorrow at 1. As soon as that's done, we're gonna hit the marketing as well. So that's, and right now also we've had a little bit of a red like couple of weeks. I mean, we launched at the worst time, honestly. But it's one of those things that, you know, perseverance and, you know, never giving up. So
Warren, how is Facebook advertising tied to the credit debit on our website?
okay, so all right, so with my company, my marketing company that has been around since 2018, January of 2018 is when we got incorporated. We spent between like $6 and $8 million on just Facebook and Instagram advertising. You know, we were spending between $6,000 and $8,000 per day. So that is one of those things that when you spend large amounts of money on any website, you know, you get preferential treatment. So because I spent all this money, it's given me access to a lot of higher ups at Facebook, including my guy who he's my VIP Facebook concierge. That's what they call him. And he was the one that was able to push my application through to advertise cryptocurrency on Facebook. Because, you know, right now, and not just Facebook and Instagram. Because, you know, right now, like there's Coinbase, Voyager, and all these other apps that are advertising, but you don't see any crypto tokens. Why? Because it's complicated. How do you put in a copy, or even in like a creative how to buy a token that's going to capture their attention in 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, in 5 seconds, you know, because the attention span is very, very low for anyone online. So that's why once we get the credit and debit card, it'll be so much more user friendly. We'll just basically have to just say, you know, go to our merch shop. 100% of the proceeds go to the foundation. Oh, while you're here, why don't you stop by and buy some SCARD token, or hey, go to the foundation, it's a great place, you can give a donation. Oh, buy some SCARD token while you're at it. Those are the type of marketing things that we're going to be doing.
Thank you.
Hi, I'd like to ask a question.
Hi,
and
people.
sorry, that's my 2-year-old.
Hi.
So hi. So first of all, hi Brandon. My husband's a pro MMA fighter, so I respect your craft and I really appreciate you using your name to provide services to folks who really need it. I also happen to be an attorney at a 501c3 foundation or a nonprofit for the last 15 years. And I'm wondering, because, we've talked about crypto donations in the charity space a little bit more over the last year or so. And, if your donations are coming in through crypto, how, price goes up and down. You're creating a foundation, you're in the process of doing that. How are you planning on ensuring the sustainability of a foundation when you have kind of a question mark as to your incoming money? And do you have other plans as far as grant making priorities and kind of how the foundation's going to operate?
All wonderful questions that I am deeply learning about at a quick and rapid pace. So the SCARD is the main donator right now, right? The main donor. So the buying and selling of the Ethereum, as you're aware, the price of when it was received into the charity wallet, the 501c3 charity wallet, that is, and then from the time it's cashed out is the buy and sell, right, for IRS purposes. So right now we have sitting 24 ETH in the account, which the market crashed. So give or take $80,000. So that's pretty much our startup money. If in fact SCARD does crumble and fail, which I highly doubt, we will be soliciting and doing fundraisers. I said already that my goal is to work with my mayor in the Miami coin to see how we can affiliate with that. I was just talking to my wife while you guys were having a conversation earlier about, I'd be really disappointed if you told me no after everything that I've done. My background also, besides being, a fire captain and leading deployments, is my current position right now is running the entire reimbursement for the COVID-19 pandemic for the whole city of Miami, all the departments within the city of Miami, and the reimbursement with FEMA and FDEM, which is the Federal Division of Emergency Management. So I and my team have submitted over $50 million of reimbursement, and we are the only municipality in the United States that has received the most obligated dollars, which are money that they have reimbursed us back into our coffers. And we have been obligated back $44 million in the city of Miami. So that puts us in the black. So we've already recovered all of our losses. So I know a little bit about grant writing. I did run the program for Urban Search and Rescue, Florida Task Force 2 for 5 years before moving up and helping out with this. So that is a $2.1 million grant. And I have understanding of writing grants and how they are. So I say all this to show you that my experience is vast. I do have connections, and I hope that my promise to myself in life is to try to never fail on purpose. So my word is out there. Everybody can find me. Brandon Vera's word is out there. We will not allow this program to fail at whatever cost. If we got to go stand on the corner of a street light and solicit pennies from people, we will, just to give back to those in need.
And I wanted to add to that, Grant, too. Thank you, man. Ma'am, thank you for the question. And man, I do not know who your husband is, but I am an absolute fan that he lives this crazy lifestyle we do. And that you live the crazy lifestyle as well. So thank you on both fronts. When I was first talking to Warren and Grant about the foundation, I never asked about money. It never became a money thing about me. I asked about sweat equity. I said, if we're going to do this, we're building this community. I said, would we be able to? Can I ask our members, ask our community to show up and show out when we're out here helping and doing donations? Can I create that type of vibe here? And when they told me that they were creating their own foundation, we're creating the SCARD Foundation, I fell in love with the idea and decided to go all in with these guys. Like Grant said, he's not about failing. I'm not about failing. I'm about fail. If you fall, get back up. So I don't see how we can let the foundation fail. I've done so many events and I've done so much for people around the world and other organizations. It's time that I started doing for others myself. So that's where I'm coming from.
Hey, can I add a thing to what she was saying as well? Like one thing that if you look at the foundation, you'll notice that even with our online store, 100% of the proceed are going to the charity. So whatever we make right now, we waiting on the final phase of the 501 C3 so we can actually open the bank account. We have a bank account for the LLC, but we want to have a different account for the foundation as well. So that way, whenever we withdraw money from Coinbase, it can actually go to um to the foundation bank, and then everything will be paper trail from there. Because right now, as soon as they touch the bank, we're dealing with the the federal government now because it's a non-profit. But one aspect of the foundation that I even like, because the foundation website or online store, because everything is all the proceeds are going back to the charity. What I plan on doing myself, like whenever I wanna, let's say doing school time, I noticed that a lot of people back then they used to do like backpacks events. I plan on using my own money, like maybe like 200 backpacks, you know what I'm saying, with sweaters, and give out to people to kids in my community. And what I will be doing, I'm sewing into the foundation because I know that money, none of us will benefit from it. None of us are getting paid for the foundation, and then as well as giving back to my own community. And I love this aspect of the foundation because none of us are getting paid. Everything that we purchase through the website goes directly to the foundation.
Thanks for all that info, Grant. Thank you for your service, and I appreciate all the team's commitment to the issue. And I'm looking forward to investing, and I'm looking forward to really following the work of the foundation as well. So thank you, guys.
Thank you. And like I was talking to Taylor, like this world is new to me. So especially with your experience and knowledge, it would be my honor to pick your brain and learn from everybody.
Absolutely. I'm around. Taylor can provide contact info if you would like to talk a little bit. And, I have a lot of questions, a lot of suggestions, a lot of thoughts around this. So I definitely welcome any conversation.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, A, for coming in and always asking great questions. While we still have the floor open, does anybody maybe on our deal flow committee core team have any other questions that they want to add in?
Susie has a question.
Okay.
Hi. I have a question about in your light paper. It said that you burned all of your reserve tokens, which equaled 42%. And then it also said that you bought on your buyback, you did $85,000 worth of buyback tokens. And I was just wondering what that actually equaled to in your coins.
So the buyback, the 42% was worth 1.3 million when we burned it. And the reason we did it for 101 years, I mean, we've had our contract out for 2 weeks. We haven't seen any issues. So, and the liquidity doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to the team. You know, it belongs to the token. So we have no right. So we locked it for 101 years because I put a poll out and I told myself if one person just marks forever, I will do it to appease everyone, including him and everyone who wants it shorter or whatever. So it was $1.3 million that we burned, and we bought back 85,000 in tokens, which was like 1.5% of total supply at the time. And when we did it in one buy. And the reason we did it in one buy and not like continue to do buybacks and because I don't want to artificially inflate our chart just to, make it look great for, outside investors, even though our chart looks really good. I mean, it's not looking great right now, but so we did it in one move because we knew there was going to be people that were going to sell. So when we did it, we had a lot of sells. The paper hands are out. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that's fine. So the $1.3 million, is that's what's in your liquidity then?
No, if I can streamline it a little bit, the liquidity is a separate issue. We had 40% set aside for exchange requirements and stuff like that in order to use as we see fit to burn and do all that kind of extracurricular items. But it was seeing to our top holders and stuff that everybody was nervous because there was a wallet out there that had 40% of the tokens in there, and we're trying to be 100% transparent and 100% unruggable. So what we would like to do is just prove to everybody that there's no way, there's nothing there for us to run away with, right? And Brandon's not going to ruin his name, and I'm not going to ruin my name, and everybody else on the team's not going to ruin their name just to run away with all of these. So we were trying to ease our investors. So we had about 1.2 million when we burned it, and when we bought back the 80,000 at the time, it was about 60,000 or something. It was 80,000 in tokens, but now we're down to like 40,000 because the market has gone down and we've cut it in half. So we're trying to keep the wallet similar to all the maximum wallet, which is 2.5%. This wallet is only holding like a little over 1.5%, if that, and that's why we did it. So the hope is to never have to use those, but that was our development fund, so we may have to shave it off in the future, if I'm being honest, in order to do what we need to do to develop the token, the game, and all that kind of items. So hopefully that cleared it up.
I gotcha. Okay, thank you. I understood that in your white paper, it did explain that the buyback tokens, that you also wanted to use them for further exchanges. And I mean, that was explained. I just was curious as what the amount of the tokens were, like how many tokens there were, how many coins, but
It was about
explained it well.
4.2 trillion tokens. That's how much. It was 4.2 trillion. We have a total supply of 10 trillion, and it was like around 42% total.
I got you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys humoring me. I think your project is wonderful. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
I have a couple questions to circle back on the animated comics and P2E. What benefits will the holders get from actually playing the P2E? Is there some benefits that will go to charity? And then as far as those holders or investors that aren't into playing games, will they benefit off of other people utilizing your P2E services?
Yeah, so Mark isn't here. So I'm gonna have to speak on his behalf. So as far as the PTE game goes, there's I we still need to speak with the developer about the mechanics, but I believe that the team decided that all proceeds for the house was going to go to the charity, right? Right, Grant?
What house are you talking about?
Like all the pros, because it's a play to earn, so they have to when they're playing, they're gonna like earn money.
Yeah, so the only thing that I know about that is that it is so early in it. We haven't even discussed what we would do with those tokens, how they would actually work. So to be honest, I don't know how it will benefit the holders, except for being in and the reflections and stuff. I don't know how the P2E works, so I can't explain on that. That's my honest answer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and no worries too if Mark's the best point of contact to lead on those. When we do share the AMA, maybe just have him chime in on some of this in the comment section, and we can pin that for folks that are listening in that maybe do want to hear on those answers. But I'm back again, and I have another question, and I don't know if you can answer it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it myself. We're partnered actually with Sharuk and Co. They're very large and do accounting and taxes and focus now on crypto. So I'm just thinking out loud as we're talking about donations and tax write-offs, right? Like that's one thing that's huge when you do a lot of these donations, especially larger investors and other verticals. A Q4 comes around, there's a lot of stuff that you can do to hedge for taxes. So what I'm getting at is, if say we do buy SCARD token, I I'm asking and I'm wondering at the same time, is there an avenue for a write-off for that crypto investor that is in essence donating, right? Because they're buying that token and that percentage would be going to a charity of choice by the board. So I guess my question is, do we get to realize some of those tax benefits there, and do they exist, and do we know at that?
That is the best question that I've been actually researching on and waiting to speak to the CPA that we have coming up next week. And ARL can chime in as she knows more about this than I do. But the short answer to that would probably be no. Because crypto is so new in this world, how does the IRS really know what you're buying and selling through MetaMask and all that stuff? It's not until it goes to a formal exchange and you cash out that it's a realized gain. And Binance and Coinbase would be sending your whatever form that is to the IRS, let them know that you did cash out these tokens, and they'll be looking to you to be claiming them on your taxes. So it would probably take maybe like a forensic accountant in order to do that. And I don't know what the worth of 1% of whatever your investment is at the time, and then what you gained at the end, right? So if you bought in for $1,000, 1%, talking about $100 tax write-off, right? So I don't know. I don't know if the juice will be worth the squeeze, but that is a question that I have written down to find out the answer on.
Great, great. And yeah, and I can help that too. When we're in Miami, Harry, our partner at Shuriken Co, will actually be there as well. So that could be a good introduction, shake hands there, and he'll be at the event too. So we can, definitely talk more about that. I think that there's something there that you might want to explore if you can, simply because I do believe in crypto there should be ways that we can hedge against taxes and it work in some similar fashion, which I'm not the tax guy. So again, I would love to make that introduction and really explore more down that road. But to that point, with partnerships that we have, I'm curious, with a project like this, are you aiming at any strategic partnerships? Have you identified maybe anybody that you're looking at to partner with? I just see rapid growth, and the reason why I'm asking is, and saying is, the rapid growth I've seen with early stage companies, ventures, anything, is through those strategic partnerships. When you have something real and you have a mission and a statement like you do, essentially they're drawn to you in ways, so you can really leverage that to your I think benefit, along with your holders in the company. to identify maybe some of these players in the game, whoever that may be. But just, speaking out loud, have you formally made, any partnerships, or is that on your radar for the future?
Hey, can I answer this since I'll be getting off soon? As far as partnership, uh, we wanted to keep this on the low because we don't have the structure yet, but we've partnered up with Heroes and plan on doing because they're about um, a foundation as well, 501c3 and everything else, and they helping us out. And we've we've been talking with the devs. I'm glad you bringing that up because man, like you I can tell like you're a very forward thinker, and we were talking with the devs and we were like, look, this space is big for every project to make money and then to do something. But when we talked, we were like, man, listen, how about we form an alliance that what I'm saying, like since we're a low market cap crypto, we'll just I think Heroes is about the vets as well, and we're like, look, you're doing good and we're doing good for the community. How about we partner up? We'll help you guys, and then you guys will help us as well, and then we'll just push the foundation like forward. Because if somebody comes and join us, they know they're joining a legit project that are docs and as well as that's registered in the US as well. So we've partnered up with Heroes. We've done a couple of spaces with them, and then we got upcoming project as well with them. Right now, we're working on a structure on how we go about adding more other projects because we don't want to make it about us only because the only thing that I respect those guys because they care about impacting their community as well. So we're trying to make something that's structured so that way down the line, let's say there is another token that has a foundation as part of their project, we can actually be like, hey man, listen, we care about vets, we care about firefighters, we care about uh the less privileged, and this is what we're doing. If you want to join us, come join us, and then you will benefit from it, and we will benefit from it as well. But on that aspect of it, and I'm glad that you brought that up. But we already working with Heroes.
Glad that you answered it with Heroes. I think that
Well, thank you, Baptiste. Hold on. I think there's a terminology problem here. Partnering up and collaborating with are two different things. So to answer your question on partnership, we have not partnered with anybody. We have not formally signed anything. And I fully believe that in life with fate, especially in what I do, I'm a big believer in it, and everything happens for a reason. And I think that the series of events that led me to join this call late is fate, because it seems like here there's a lot of people really interested with a lot of knowledge and experience that we can benefit from together and greatly. So as far as partnership, we are open to partnering and collaborating with people who can help us grow and grow with us to provide and do the most good to those in need, and collaborating with those such as Heroes and other coins to be the voice of our message, if that answers your question.
totally does. And it's good to be, receptive to that. And I like the fact that you're, differentiating collaborations and partnerships. Like my team will tell you, I am the most, straightforward when it comes to, that terminology, right? Like, who's a partner and how that's treated versus, those collaborations. But collaborations are great. And the fact that you are, collaborating with Heroes, which is a notable project that I've heard of and many others have, I think that that's wonderful. And I would, encourage you to continue to do those things because, this, and one thing I've seen in DeFi, and it really blows my mind, is how, so how do you put it, enemies, right? Like the tokens that come out, and when we're a big sector in a vertical like DeFi is now, you want it to come together, and a token like this, in my opinion, can start bringing some of that together with the mission and the statement behind it. So being able to be collaborative with other communities, I think, is the right step in the direction for not only the entire DeFi sector, but I think also for your project, continuing to do that, because other communities, other investors that maybe have the same beliefs as we do about these things that you're addressing and going out and spreading awareness about will be drawn in to this project. And I think that you can keep feeding your investor base from that and really, getting that smart capital is the word I like to use into your project. The folks that not only can invest, but also can give you that maybe extra knowledge or push you over that little bitty hump that gets you to the next level. That's, what we try to represent at the Angels is that strategic money that can come in, not only, give you a capital injection, but also, be there to watch your journey go through and, be a real investor and see it through and provide that insight. That's, going to increase the likelihood of more project success. But you answered my question, both of you, and I appreciate it. So I'll fall back now, but that's good to hear. And it's good to hear that you're going to be receptive in the future to those partnerships.
Absolutely. And like Brandon always says, that sweat equity, man, we would love to be working right alongside you guys and building a house or out there passing out rice or doing whatever we need to do. That would be, nothing would be better in my mind than that.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we're definitely going to connect more over this. I know that that we'll have a group set up, and post this call, we'll get together and we may even do a follow-up AMA with this. But yeah, this has been great. And with that being said too, I know that we've covered so much ground here. Is there questions? I know some of us haven't gotten a turn to maybe get in. Does anybody else maybe on the call here with us tonight currently, have any more questions?
Yeah, Taylor, back. I apologize. My computer died, so I had to get it restarted. So I'm back.
I got a question. It's me kind of a couple because I was gone working, but to my understanding, 1% of the tax goes to the nonprofit, correct?
Correct.
And that goes to, you guys own a nonprofit, a registered nonprofit?
We have it incorporated in the state of Florida right now, and I submitted the 40-page application with 43-page attachment last Tuesday to get it processed through. And they say about 180 days maximum, but I'm hoping this weekend we can collaborate with some of the members here in order to expedite that process.
Okay. Now, I was just curious, are the board members getting paid to run it?
Negative. It's illegal in a 501c3 to have board members be paid.
Okay. Just checking.
Hey, Tanner, I'm a board member and I'm not getting paid, and I will never get paid because I'm doing this for this reason, that I want to impact my community. And this is giving me a chance to actually do that. And money is good. I've been in crypto for since 2017. I noticed that I've met a lot of rich people. I've met the most impressive people that I've met is people that have a heart for others. Like with me, one of the reasons why I'm proud of this project, and especially the foundation side of it, is the fact that I can actually do something for my community. And at the end of the day, I'll be honest, I thought about it. I'm very forward thinking. So then I was like, man, you know what? On my deathbed, man, I can't take any money with me. But I know, if I made any donation, any toy to a little child at Baptist Hospital in Miami, or I give some kids, some sweaters or a homeless man, anything like that, I know those are memories that I can actually be remembered as. And that's, to me, that's legacy. That's what I know the foundation it's only a one aspect of the whole token, but that's one of my proudest thing ever. And I would not receive a penny for that, because I'm not saying I'm prideful, but it's the fact that the way that I grew up, I'm a black man, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have any support when I was growing up. And that's what makes me passionate about my own community, about giving back. And as well as, touching, little children in a hospital, giving back to them, making them smile. So, and that's why I'm on this team,
Of course. Now, I wasn't accusing anyone. I just had to ask the question because in this world, there are, as sad as it to say, nonprofits that are used for malicious reasons. But
Absolutely.
I've
And
seen
that
it
was a
happen.
great question. Thank you for asking it.
So
Yeah,
just want to check.
Hi guys, I just wanted to say, no, yeah, great presentation, great AMA. I think the committee and the core team did a great job asking questions. So I don't want to sound too much like a broken record, but I did want to just say that, yeah, great job, and I really support the the whole mental health really hits home for me as well. So any way that I can support that is always an interest of mine. But also, I've been hearing a lot of conversation between mental health and crypto, whether that is by donations or by using it as almost like medicine in a sense, a therapy, not medicine, therapy, in terms of like the metaverses and virtual reality. So I definitely see these two worlds colliding, and being at this point in the industry, I think it's really great that we can give back. And this generation, I think, is a lot more aware of the mental health that's going on. And so yeah, just kudos, great AMA. I love what the foundation stands for, and I 100% see these two spaces merging in the near future. So right on, guys, good job.
Thank you, Jess. I'm very humbled by those words. Thank you.
Since we haven't touched base on this, can we go into a little bit of detail about the merch? I mean, designs are pretty kick-ass, and who are the artists behind them? I know all the profits go to charity. If you guys just want to touch up on that a little bit. Sorry, my son's in the background.
I've got 4 kids. I know how it is.
I got 3 daughters.
Warren, you want to answer that question?
So the merch, yeah, Keith, who's Mark's brother, he's our graphic designer. He's also he's a professional artist and a brander. That's who's doing our branding as well. He's worked for in a lot of ads for a lot of big companies, Nike, LA Marathon, to name a few. So he's very good. His LinkedIn profile on our website, you guys should check it out. He's got some really good stuff up there. But yeah, he's the one that does our graphics, and we do have a graphic. We have everything in Google Drive, and we share that with the community if they need to use logos or want to use logos and stuff. But yeah, so that was just incorporated into the merch, and I mean the merch is lit.
Have you guys sold any merch so far, or?
Oh yeah, we've gotten a lot of orders.
So we've sold just under $500 worth of merchandise. I don't know what the dollar amount is to that we made a profit yet, but I had to transfer it over because of the way it runs. So that's why I know $500 was like 480 or something like that. But whatever the markup is, it's like 10% or something like that. The remaining dollars will go into the charity bank account.
And roughly how much profit do you get off of the merch? Just a rough estimate.
We really don't know the percentage of that yet. Do you know, Warren?
Yeah, it's the profit is around 20%. But the entire profit is going directly to the foundation. So like my brother said, like he had to transfer it. So yeah. So I mean, I get the receipts in my email, and it's between like 15 and 18%, I want to say.
So let me back up and explain the merch store a little bit better. It is through Printful. So you go online and you order it through Printful, and you put in your thing. There's a cost for us to put it up there, and then there's a cost for the buyer to buy it. And then I think we marked it up anywhere between 10 to 20% for each item. So what happens is it gets taken out of our company, the Warmus LLC bank account. Through our PayPal for the total amount that the buyer paid for, and then the profits come back into the PayPal account. So it's through a third party, which is why we may sound like we don't really know what we're talking about when it comes to the dollars. But we just started it a couple of days ago, so we really don't know the exact percentage yet.
Yeah, that would be a good metric to as you, I mean, you just started it. So, but as you fold that out, that metric will be key, learning those margins, right? So you can, kind of come away, whether if you want to start, I don't know if you're currently drop shipping, how you're working around that, but
Yeah,
I've seen
everything's drop shipped through through Printful.
Yeah,
got
and
it.
I'm sure Keith knows the metrics. I'm sure he knows the percentage. Unfortunately, he's not on this call. But yeah, he's the one that he knows. He's the one that set up the store. He's the one that did the designs. He's the one that does the website. I mean, the guy's a beast.
Right on. Yeah. And I think the merch can actually be a really good rev driver, towards the foundation and those donations that are going out. But also, I think it could really be great for the community too. So I don't know if I heard it on here, if you said it, but just to clarify, is the community getting any type of designs in or voice in on how this merch is created or what they're doing? I just see a lot of synergy between merchandise and then getting that in community engagement, right? And to keep that maintained and kind of that retention level that could really help out by giving the community a chance to maybe come up with some of these designs or come out with some things that they can say, oh, we created that, right? And then kind of wear that badge of honor. Have those talks happened? Are they happening, or is that maybe open in the future?
Absolutely. They have happened. They are happening throughout the designs. An idea of a hat, the snapback hat. Baptiste was talking to us the other day about backpacks to donate to kids at one of our pop-up events. Talking about neck gaiters to donate to hospital workers over at testing sites. Search and rescue people going out in the field and giving it to them, representing the SCARD Foundation out there, something to keep them safe. So yeah, those things are definitely being open and discussed about. Everybody right now loves the design. That's all we hear about. Nobody has voiced any other suggestions yet, but we are definitely open to it because it costs us nothing to design it in the Printful store in the back end. And it's everything to the donations to the foundation. So to answer your question is, we'll welcome it all.
Great. Yeah. And I look forward to connecting more about that as well. Just, been and seen a part of other projects that have kind of rolled some of these things out with tremendous success. And I think it could be a great balance too while you're developing, your game and while that runway is still about 6 months, as you mentioned, this could be something to also maybe roll out work on. And it's just, it gives you that time and the project time to really grow. I know a lot of folks get in and you guys are 3 weeks old, the instant gratification, you have what we call, like, I guess the paper hands, but the folks that just get in deals and then, want to get out. So I think, you're getting to that point where, you can really start building that community and keep building it, and that synergy and that kind of charisma and that family feeling is what evolves from that. And I think it really could, just off the merchandise alone, the brainstorming and with what you guys are doing, kind of interlinking all those things. I really see it being great. So yeah, awesome. I'm big time on the merch and glad to see the profits are going to something great. Yeah.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate it.
No, yeah, no worries. Now with that said, open it back up again for questions. I know there's been a lot of questions, which is really good. I'm glad that we were having this and getting, and thank you for hanging in here with us and answering everything. This has been great. But with that said, does anybody else maybe have any questions on the call?
And guys, I have to apologize again on behalf of Mark. He's just not able to be here. He's the one that knows all the information on the game and the animated series. So that is an apology I'm extending.
Yeah, no worries. And we'll have this after we in the recording here. We normally break out as a community and talk more about the project in depth. And we do a community vote that goes on for a couple of days to decide if this is going to be a project that we officially support and get behind and make capital injections to. So we'll do that following the call. But again, we'll have this crafted and posted. And so if Mark, can get maybe onto that YouTube, answer some of the questions about that development on the gaming, just in the comments, we don't mind pinning that up there for folks to see and to kind of have that to leverage down and use. And then moving forward as the project progresses and grows, I always like to extend an invite to kind of, where you're at now, right? So as in the future, that's something to definitely look forward to, connecting again and, seeing how the project's doing and, where we found you and where you're at now. And I really look forward to those calls, just to, watch communities grow, projects grow, and really teams excel. So I just want to, also give you guys a big shout out on here. I think this was a wonderful AMA. I think you did a great job, highlighting the project, answering the questions that our group had, and want to thank you for coming on tonight and, giving us the opportunity to listen in and to invest in your project and to highlight it and, show everybody else that's a part of our network.
Thank you so much for having us. And I apologize that my computer died. But I do want to let your community know that we did start event chat. It's bot protected, it's private. So if any of your members just want to come over to our chat room, they can ask about the vent room. And I think Rose will drop a link to it. I'm not sure. But that's a place for people to just vent after a long day or a crappy week or a stressful argument they had with their spouse or significant other. So we have that as well.
It's led by a firefighter here in South Florida. He reached out to me. He's had a tough couple of days once he knew who I was and stuff, and we've been talking in the background, but he lost a close brother there in his fire department. It's the second one he's lost due to suicide in the last month and a half. So we've been talking about it, and the vent chat has been a topic of our conversation within the core team, but we just really didn't have the time or experts in order to run it per se, because you really don't want anybody just handing out any type of mental health advice or stuff. You need somebody who's been through it, a professional, whether it be a firefighter, a nurse, doctor, whatever, right? So you need to make sure that it's mediated and well protected to protect the mental health, obviously. So he's leading it, and he's the one running it at the moment. The goal to expand that is when we go on deployments, we use critical incident stress management, CISM, and when we have traumatic events or we couldn't find a baby or whatever we were looking for, and the guys are and girls are a little upset and distraught, we kind of all meet together at the end and talk about what everybody did, what everybody thought, and how they felt, and it gives everybody the understanding of the complete picture. Right. So it's like if you're sitting in the room and you've already called for your daughter to bring you a cup of water, right? All you know is how long it's taken. You don't know the trials and tribulations she had to go through in order to get that water, right? Maybe there wasn't any ice. She had to go to the store, or she slipped and fell and she cut her knee. You don't know. So it gives you the full picture. So that we call that a diffusion. And I think that is something that is what I believe can be the most effective moving forward for the awareness part, is just being able to touch fingers and talk to somebody who's been in that similar event or trauma. And if we don't have that person, know who we have on call or on standby in order to get that person in touch with. And the great thing for me is that I have a lot of those resources. Close friends that I've made along my journey with similar experiences. So the mental health chat is great. It's a great idea. It's a great concept. It's created by a community member. So you can tell I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah, and that's a great way to close the call. I think that's amazing. Like you can see, obviously at the Angels, we have multiple groups, like women, Women's Investor Network, our WIN group, solely for the women to get out of a male dominated space and really be in a place where they can flourish and, be in the sector. We have a discovery channel, deal for stuff. No, well, what you're doing is great. I think that's actually one of the biggest things I'm taking away from the call now. I think that, offering that on Telegram where somebody can go in that maybe can't reach out to somebody or they don't have anybody to talk to, but there's always somebody on Telegram. That's one thing that I have learned from crypto. There's always somebody to talk to on Telegram. And that since you've created that and giving people that safe environment to come vent and be heard, I think that will help people more than we would ever know on this AMA. And I think that's really great and an awesome idea. And it does not surprise me that it came from a community member. And that's one thing I'll end with here. A lot of these groups, projects, we're nothing without our community. Here at the Angels, we would be nothing without everybody coming together, making those investment decisions, asking all these questions, then getting together as a syndicate and voting and, doing all those mechanisms really increases the likelihood of our success. But my point is, it's all about the community, no matter where you're at. That is the value. So it doesn't surprise me that that was created from them, and it just tells me even more that aside from having a great team here, that you have a great community, right? That are really trying to not only do something great with a token but they're changing lives. And I think that that's where the rubber meets the road for me with this project is, yeah, it's great. We can get in, we may make some good money, and we're helping people out, but changing lives, that's something that, in my opinion, money doesn't buy. And that feeling that you get when you do, help somebody in need, or you can, actually say like I was there for somebody, that feeling to me is way better than making any amount of money, So that's awesome, man. And I'll definitely join the chat. And if I can be a resource for anybody, going through anything, I always offer myself as that as well, just because I've been in a lot of crazy situations, came out of them. We all have our scars, right? We wear them differently.
Exactly.
So that's it, man. And I think, once you find kind of those people like us that really understand that, it gives me chills even talking about it, just like growing up as a kid, and my community knows some of the things that I've went through in personal life at a young age and, grown up through, and, just that road, that journey, and those scars. And I have them physically, mentally, in any way that you want to put them. But, I always offer myself as a resource for anybody, because this is important. It needs to be, talked about more. It needs to be mainstream. Mental health is real. And I'm just so glad that you guys are taking that first step in crypto and addressing it. That's solid. So good stuff, guys, for real. Good stuff.
Man, I appreciate it.
You're the man, Taylor. Thank you for having us, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this call, and we'll be forwarding over the YouTube clip and everything for you guys to share around. And like I told you, I'll do some marketing on my end. I plan on actually, putting this out with the Angels, and we'll put some marketing behind it and start pushing it as well. And but yeah, great AMA, and thank you all for joining, and thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. This has been awesome. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it. And guys, if you have any further questions, always feel free to DM me. I'm pretty responsive until I'm not. But, if you don't hear from me in 5-10 minutes or 15-20 minutes, just DM me again a couple times. It gets buried in here. Thank you. I look forward to collaborating with you guys over the next week. I'm excited. Let's go.
Absolutely. We'll be seeing you guys in Miami, my friend, in person, shaking hands, kissing babies, and doing all the good deeds.
Boy. We're going to have to bring you some SCARD shirts.
Yeah. Hey, bring it on out, and make sure you put a price tag on there so we know it's going directly to those people. We want to pay for it. I have also in our chat, if you guys want to check out the merch store, it's pinned. SCARD's groups in our chat. Feel free to join, and let's get it, baby. But this has been great. And I think that concludes our AMA tonight. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.